are from Group 3. And today we're gonna talk about Leonardo da Vinci, an Italian artist, engineer, and scientist.
But before we are going to start this podcast, let us introduce ourselves first. So, my name is Sean Kiefers Aslan Binti, and the last digits of my student number is 167.
And my name is Evania Ranjani with last digit student numbers 183.
My name is Nanda with last student number 164.
Hello, my name is Ranjani and my last number is 188.
So, did you guys have ever heard about Leonardo da Vinci?
Yes.
Definitely.
But did you guys know that Leonardo da Vinci only lived for 67 years?
Is that so?
Yes, so Leonardo da Vinci was born in Florence, Italy on April 15, 1452, and he died in France on May 2, 1519. His father, Ser Piero, was a Florentine notary and landlord, and his mother, Caterina, was a young peasant woman. Leonardo's parents were unmarried at the time of his birth, so he grew up at his father's family's estate, where he was treated as a legitimate son, and he received the basic education that was common in those days, such as reading, writing, and arithmetic.
So, when did he get interested in art?
Leonardo's artistic talents and interests emerged early on. When he was about 15 years old, his father, who had a high reputation in the Florence community, enrolled him in the training of artist Andrea del Verrocchio. At the famous Verrocchio workshop, he received various trainings such as painting and sculpture, as well as technical mechanical arts. And in 1472, Leonardo was accepted into the Painters Guild of Florence.
Wow, that was cool. He found his passion at an early age.
Yes, that's true. And in 1482, Leonardo moved to Milan to work in the service of the city's duke. Leonardo spent 17 years in Milan, and until Ludovico's fall from power in 1499. During his 17 years in Milan, Leonardo was listed in the royal household register as the Duke's painter and engineer. So he was always busy as a painter and engineer, as well as a designer of the court festivals.
That's when his passion became in art.
Yes, art was one of his passions, but he had other things he was passionate about. And as a painter, Leonardo completed several works throughout his 17 years in Milan, such as the altar painting The Virgin of the Rocks, the monumental wall painting Last Supper, and a monumental equestrian statue in bronze.
That is interesting. But from what I've heard, the second Florence period of Leonardo da Vinci is different from what you have said before.
How did Leonardo's second period in Florence differ from his earlier experience?
I think it is around 1500 to 1580. It is the second Florentine period of Leonardo's life. So, in December 1499, after the victorious entry of the French into Milan, Leonardo left that city in the company of a mathematician named Lucas Pacioli. And after visiting Mantua in February, he returned back to Florence. And 3 years later, Leonardo received a prize commission to paint a mural on a council hall in Florence's Palazzo Vecchio. It is a historical scene of monumental proportions. And I think mostly in his second period, Leonardo characterized by intensive scientific study, including distinctions and the study of human anatomy. Not only that, the second millennium period, I think it is around 1513, he received a significant commission from Giangiacomo Trivulzio to create a horse statue of his grave.
That's interesting. What was the purpose of the whole statue and who collaborated with Leonardo on this project?
So that statue is built in 1511, and Leonardo da Vinci created that statue for Giacomo to giving a memorial about horse riding. So it was never, unfortunately, it was never finished because of Milan's political issue.
Complicated. What's about Leonardo last year in life?
Okay, so actually we have one of our members who currently cannot participate with us today physically, but fortunately he is with us today and it's through Google Meet. So here it is, Astawa. Astawa, time is yours.
Hello everyone, my name is Imade Astawa Sadwaje. My last student number is 191. I'm from group 3. In 1516, Leonardo accepted an invitation from King Francis I of France to move to France. Leonardo spent the last 3 years of his life in the small residence of Claux, near the King's Summer Palace at M.Hum on the Loire. Leonardo still made sketches for court festival and drew up plans for the palace and garden of Romaretin, which was destined to be the widow's residence of the Queen Mother for the King. Leonardo died on May 2, 1519, at the age of 67. Leonardo died of Claux and was buried in the palace church of Saint Florentin. Thank you.
Okay, thank you Astawa for your time. I want to ask you guys something. You guys know about the achievement of Leonardo da Vinci?
Yes, I do. So Leonardo da Vinci was very popular because his achievement, and he also popular because his paintings. And Leonardo works such as the Last Supper and Mona Lisa paintings because this is so close that his talent and his innovative technique. And next achievement is architecture and gallery. In architecture and gallery, Leonardo invented design and the concept were ahead of their time. And he conceptualized machines such as helicopter and tanks. And the last one is anatomy. So the anatomical Leonardo anatomical studies involve detailed dissection and drawings of the human bodies. And this provides biomechanics or physiology to humans. So and certainly make major contribution and to the field of the anatomy and medicine. I think that's all of Leonardo da Vinci achievement.
Okay, do you know, guys, what about his other life background?
Okay, so we know that Leonardo da Vinci lived in the era of Renaissance era, and since then, historians dubbed him as the Renaissance man because he is the one who revolutionized or anything like maybe arts or maybe engineering and anatomy and everything. And Da Vinci is a polymath. A polymath is when someone has a wide-based skill. He basically skilled at everything. And from what I've heard, Da Vinci, he invented a lot of things besides from what Ranjani mentioned, like helicopters and tanks. There's also a list here. I can show you, but there's a lot of lists here that the things that Da Vinci's invented. So Leonardo da Vinci invented an anemometer. He also conceptualized a flying machine or an airplane, not a helicopter but an airplane. And he also He also created the giant crossbow, a self-propelled cart, which is basically a car, and a scuba gear, because he also have a deep understanding in aquatic research, and also a revolving bridge. So yeah, a bridge, like a bridge that can go up and down like this.
Oh,
You know that bridge, right? So basically everything that he invented or he conceptualized was it was used today, and it was the standard of technology. And there is one fun fact that I just found, that Da Vinci once drew a map of a small town called Imola in France or Italy, if I'm not mistaken, and it is so detailed. Like from the top view, you can see like the buildings, like the schematics of the buildings, the streets, the rivers, and basically every landmark there. And it is so detailed that people start to call it like the satellite map of Da Vinci. And because of that, the concept of satellite was born, just because from this map that was drew by Da Vinci. And it is interesting because he is a what is again? He's a painter. He's an engineer, scientist. He's also a cartographer. The guy, people who makes maps. He also makes maps like the world map, and he also makes the globe, like the globe that we usually use in school. Yeah. Basically, he invents a lot of things, and it is amazing how he is, invent a lot of technologies. There's actually a lot, but I cannot mention it because it took a lot of time to read it. So yeah.
yeah.
That was insane. Like, how can someone learn about art and at the same time he also learned about engineering, human anatomy, science. Oh my god, that was so cool.
Yeah. I think Leonardo da Vinci is like genius, but at the same time he is crazy because he can be a scientist, he can be a painter, I think. He can follow his journey to become a scientist. So good luck.
Yeah, and those fields are very difficult, like engineering, science. Those are very difficult, but he was able to master it all.
Yeah, he's too fast.
Oh my gosh.
He's basically like a super duper genius, Like he can do anything. Like I don't know. Usually people like normal people. Usually they tend to be a genius in one type of whether it's in art. If you're genius in art, then you can do anything in maybe art like music, painting and stuff, yada yada yada. And maybe if you're smart at scientific stuff, But this guy, Da Vinci, is basically is too perfect.
He was able to do many things, especially the most hardest things like engineering, science.
That's crazy.
That's all from us, guys.
Yeah.
And I think that's all that we can tell to you guys about Leonardo da Vinci. And
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for
thank
watching.
you guys.
Bye.
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 Bye bye, guys.